Blame inflation. If you can no longer afford a shiny new Tesla, the automaker is jacking up prices again as it battles through much higher costs of doing business. Yahoo Finance senior auto correspondent Pras Subramanian is here with the details. Pras, how expensive are Teslas getting?
Brian, unlike other automakers, Tesla can sort of dynamically raise prices whenever they feel like it. So right now we're seeing the second price hike in less than a week here. I want to go over a couple of the notable changes. So Sazi asked about those cars. The Model 3 rear-wheel drive, which is Tesla's cheapest car, went up $2,000 to $47,000. The Model 3 all-wheel drive jumped $2,500 to $54,500. The base Model Y is their crossover that everyone really likes, went up $2,000 to nearly $63,000. And the Model S, the high-end sedan, all variants climbed $5,000. The cheapest one now starts at $99,000. And finally, the Model X SUV jumped a whopping $10,000 to nearly $115,000. So also want to note that China also had hikes across the board, around 5% for these Chinese-made Teslas in the mainland. And concurrently, Brian, I want to note that delivery timelines are expanding. You're getting pushed back. Last week, I tweeted about how the Tesla Model Y, that base Model Y, now has a ship date of August. I just checked this morning, and now that ship date is September 2022. If you add certain things like special wheels, that gets shipped out, it got pushed out even to December 2022. So you're waiting, almost a year to get these cars. Tesla also, one more thing to note, Tesla also raising the prices of their solar installation capabilities too with their Solar City products. And lastly, I want to note that it's not just the fact that that's inflation prices. It could also be demand too. A lot of people are speculating that with gas prices jumping, maybe people are trying to buy more EVs. And this is something that Electric noted that they heard from sources that Tesla was seeing massive order jumps across the country. So there could be also a demand story here for these price jumps.
And Pras, also in the news here, Mercedes finally opening up a plant that they invested $1 billion worth in Alabama to build batteries for their two new electric SUVs. What do you know about this?
Yeah, Jared. So Mercedes has had a long time relationship with the state of Alabama and Tuscaloosa. They have a plant there where they make traditional gas-powered SUVs. Now they're actually going to build a battery plant there to charge up their EV offerings. They're going to build two EVs down to the EQS and the EQE, two cars down there. In addition to the price look, making these gas-powered cars for the time being. But Mercedes is going to spend around 40 billion euros, or about $44 billion, to build more SUV or EV capabilities over the next decade. They want to be fully electric by 2030. It's going to take a lot of money and cash and materials to do so. This is going to eat at their bottom line for a couple of years, this investment, but they need to do that in order if they're going to catch up to the Teslas of the world. In addition to the fact that, Jared, we haven't even touched on the material prices have been jumping like crazy. So that's going to increase their cost of investment and also building those lithium-ion batteries.
To be honest, Pras, just do not like the look of that new EQS. It's just not for me. So let me get back to Tesla. I'm looking at some of the prices here the price increases that are going to affect. The Model X tri-motor will go to $138,000, $990 from about, let's say, $127,000. At what point does this just impact demand where consumers are just like, you know what, I'm going to wait for the $30,000 Ford electric vehicle next year?
It's funny, we talk about that top end, that Model X, Model S. I think there's always going to be those fans that are going to want those cars. And they only make around 10,000 of those a year. Really, I think, Sazi, that big differentiator are those Model 3s and Model Ys that are seeing bumps almost $1,000 here, $500 here, $1,000 here. So you're really bumping up against the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Why wouldn't you look at that if you're in the Model Y mix? So I think you're right. It's going to cause some people to sort of look at cross-shop, look at Audi, look at VW, look at Hyundai. The Ioniqs are coming out. I think you're right. This is definitely going to have people looking at traditional OEMs who are making EVs that are also price competitive.
Let's see, down payment on a new home or a new Tesla Model X that will rip your face off when you have the pedal down. I'm going to go for new home, but we'll leave it there. Yahoo Finance senior auto correspondent Pras Subramanian. Good to see you, bud.